This is the Reporter's Notebook, hosted by Elaine Shane.
Welcome to this entry in the DTN Reporter's Notebook. We're joined today by DTN Special Correspondent Elizabeth Williams as we talk about the latest farmland trends and what's happening with prices.
Elizabeth, you've been looking at different reports on Midwest farmland values. First of all, let's start with Iowa. What's been happening there?
Over the spring and summer, land values have increased, but the pace is slowing down. The Iowa Realtors Land Institute takes a survey every March 1st and September 1st, and on September 1, their survey that was released this past week said average Iowa farmland values have risen only about 1.2% since last March. But if you look at the year-to-year level on September 1, they're up an average 10.6%. What's hidden in these averages is the market is now dividing into two. The prices for high-quality land are actually continuing to climb, with some really strong auctions this fall. But prices for medium and low-quality land are staying steady or actually dropping.
So why is this happening?
Well, there are three reasons land values are easing. One, corn prices have fallen about $2 a bushel since the beginning of the year, and that's put a big dent in the return on investment. And two, long-term interest rates are starting to move higher, and that makes land payments a little more expensive. And then three, in Iowa, we've had a horribly wet spring with pockets of prevent plant and a late planted crop everywhere. And then we have an extremely dry summer, so farmers are worried about yields and returns. And that's really the reason for the divergence in the land market. Potential buyers are looking at what good land yields are, even in a tough year like this one, versus lower quality land. And they're saying, if I'm going to pay above $10,000 or so for an acre of land, I want only top quality land. And the demand has really dropped off for the poor quality land because they've seen that the yields just aren't there in tough years. And we've actually seen some no-sale auctions because they're not bringing the prices that they might have brought 6 to 10 months ago on this lower quality land.
So what is the outlook now for Iowa?
The outlook for Iowa farmland, as we say pretty much every year, it depends. It depends on what the farm bill will be and where corn prices are going and interest rates. Most realtors expect a softening in the market as they look ahead in the next year.
What about the rest of the Midwest? What's happening there and why?
In a land outlook report issued by Rabobank, they expect land values in the central U.S. to be steady for the next 12 months or so, but they predict farmland values to drop between 15 to 20% in the next 3 years. And they expect that because of rise in long-term interest rates. We're not going to be at these low levels forever. And they're using an average corn price of around $5 per bushel. And unless corn drops below $4.50 a bushel, Rabobank doesn't think land values will retreat more than 20% from today's highs before bottoming out. We're not going to return to the 1980s. Plus, their long-term outlook for Midwest land values continues to be positive because of the growth in global food demand.
What about cash rents for 2014?
Well, the realtors that I talked with, they are expecting steady cash rents for 2014. And they say on the top end of rents, they're not going to go down. And the bottom end of the rental range, they expect a little increase. And one realtor said if the landowner was looking at maybe going up $50 an acre, he might say his tenant, well, how about if you pay me $25 an acre more for 2014 and then another $25 an acre for 2015 to get us back to a range that they've kind of seen high returns in the past couple of years.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
All right. Thanks, Elaine.
I'm Elaine Shane, and that's today's entry in the DTN Reporter's Notebook. Thanks for joining us.
This has been the Reporter's Notebook from the DTN Progressive Farmer Newsroom.